Harry Kane has been ruled out of the game of Brazil versus England that's going to be played tomorrow at Wembley. We are obviously going to be here to bring you the match preview. I think in the next 4-5 hours, I'm going to be previewing that game, who starts, who doesn't start, in here onto the Rokani Media Football. Smash the like button close to 200 times, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Juventus have come out and really put out their plan on how they really want to get back to their successful glory days. Aston Villa has sealed the biggest shirt front sponsorship in their club history. In there for you, Rokani David is my name, Juma Karim to the Muslims, and Ramadan Mubarak, second Juma of the holy month of Ramadan, and may Allah really reward you accordingly. And to all those watching in this channel, smash the like button and don't forget to subscribe, because we want to hit the magic number of 20,200 subscribers, and let's obviously see some good number of likes onto this. Now, the Christians, we cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. You are just 9 days away from the holidays, like to celebrate what we call the, what is it called? Easter, the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And let's continue to obviously trust in the Lord. Now, we started off with Telegraph Football. They've gone ahead and confirmed us that Harry Kane is set to miss England's game against Brazil on Saturday, but there is hope he'll play some part in the friendly against Belgium next Tuesday, as his ankle injury is not thought to be serious. I really did a video that most of you went ahead to watch hugely onto this channel concerning the injury of Harry Kane. You remember that very, very, very well. I came out and really hinted onto the injury he got when they're playing, is it Darmstadt, over the previous weekend. They went ahead to win that game by 5-2, and good enough, by the time Harry Kane got that injury and was taken off the field of play, he had already gone ahead to score his goal that really took him to 30 goals a season in there for you in the Bundesliga. That is Harry Kane for you. But when you look at the side of England, I think they're really having some good options that can come in through and really cover up. For example, they do have Ollie Watkins, I think, is there. I think there is even Ivan Toney in the mix. So those two can really cover up for him in the game of Brazil. And I think, by the way, there is something special in Ollie Watkins that people have not gone ahead to see. There is a huge new speciality in his finishing, the way he really makes those near post runs. You know, he's really a very, very good striker. And I think he's the one going to start into the side of England as they take on the side of Brazil. No one is really going to stop him from really scoring those goals, because if he's having Carl Palmer and Rashford playing on his either shoulders, then behind his back, all at his back, you put there Phil Foden, depending on how the manager is really going to start up his team. Or James Maddison, one of those. I think he will be having great shape in there for you. So even Sky Sports have told us this morning that Harry Kane is expected to sit out. England is friendly against Brazil on Saturday night, giving manager Gary Southgate the chance to ramp up the auditions to be the strikers' deputy at this summer's European Championship. So obviously, that's what we've been talking about, that England is really looking at really getting in Ollie Watkins to do the needful. And I think Ollie Watkins is the best striker right now, is the best English striker in the Premier League. When you talk about Cole Wilson, Ivan Toney, Calvert-Lewin, I think none of those has gone ahead to obviously meet the levels of performance of this guy. He has gone ahead to put in lots and lots of numbers in that English shirt. When you look at, in that Aston Villa shirt, and at a point X, people have started to believe that maybe he doesn't deserve to be playing for the side of Aston Villa. He needs to upgrade, like to go to Man United, Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, all elsewhere, because 29 games in the Premier League is having 16 goals and 10 assists, 26 goal involvements. The man is really on epic fire, and that shows you how good he is and how he has gone ahead to fire in the most important hit of football altogether. Now, after that, the biggest worry will go to the Bayern Munich fans, that What if Harry Kane is forced into the game of Belgium on Tuesday next week, and maybe the injury surges? I think the best case scenario that every Juventus fan would have gone ahead to love is to see to it that Harry Kane doesn't play any minute, because yesterday even Bukayo Saka was sent back to the Sobha Reality Training Center to obviously undergo his rehabilitation. And for Harry Kane, looks like he's dying for the team. And I know that he's doing this in fear of Ollie Watkins, because sometimes might be the captain, but there might come in a player who can really score in very many goals. You saw it up during the World Cup. When Argentina was going to the World Cup, their talisman that was leading the line was Martinez, Lautaro Martinez. But Lautaro Martinez never went ahead to have a very good game against Saudi Arabia, and they decided to bring on Julian Alves. Ever since then, until the final they won, Julian Alves started as the number 9 of Argentina, and even right now, he has gone ahead to take that spot. However much Lautaro Martinez was so much pivotal into their qualification campaign, it never really stopped the manager of Argentina to go with Julian Alves. So, however good Harry Kane is, and very many people think that it's going to be the number 1 choice for England forever, I tell you, a day in football is really a lot. A lot can happen. Ollie Watkins can launch himself tomorrow as England plays against Brazil and scores a hat-trick. He goes to the game of Belgium and he scores a hat-trick. Now, he'll continue in the Premier League to score goals, and people will start to compare him with Harry Kane and say, look, the competition in the Premier League cannot be compared in the competition into the Bundesliga, because Harry Kane only scored 30 goals in a season once in the Premier League. When you look at Ollie Watkins, he has found himself in a position of really scoring now 16 goals, and he's playing for Aston Villa, not an elite side like the Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, name it. Meaning that his goals weigh so much more than those of Harry Kane, and a case is going to be raised. I tell you, that's why Harry Kane is here, because he knows to it that if he's out, Ollie Watkins can really take over and really turn the narrative, because I believe Ollie Watkins is a more clinical striker as compared to Harry Kane. That is it. Harry Kane just has the experience and he's the captain. But at the age of 30, Ollie Watkins is 27, 28. Trust me, if Ollie Watkins continues to score at that level, then Harry Kane will have to go on the bench. And one thing that Harry Kane has to do is simple. That Ollie Watkins has to do is simple. He has to upgrade from Aston Villa to find a team like Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, those traditional teams in the Premier League. If he gets into those traditional teams, then the fans, and the pundits that are now in the media that played for those respective teams will push the narrative for him to go into the starting 11 of England. And we might be here by 2026. Ollie Watkins might be the man leading the line of England in Canada, America, and Mexico. So let's wait and see, but don't expect Harry Kane to play part in the game of Brazil, and that gives England a different shape of altogether to test Ollie Watkins to do the job over and over at Wembley. Then later, Harry Kane will be expected to return, and I think Arsenal fans are really crossing their hands for Harry Kane to really get injured, because they feel like it can be an easy goal when they are playing against Bayern Munich without Harry Kane. Harry Kane is one of those that is going to score close to 18 or 20 goals in the different times that's going to meet Arsenal, and he has a percentage of like 90% to score against Arsenal every time he comes across them. So I know why Arsenal fans are really calling in for that to happen to this England international. Now after that, let's go to Juventus, that is Turin in Italy. We've gotten a story coming in through from Corriere dello Sport. They've told us that he's called Sinavino, right? Sinavino, has come out and really portrayed the plan. I think he's the CEO of Juventus. He has said that I've outlined plans for the club's future for the next for the club's future for the next 3 years. 2025, qualify for is the Champions League and fight for the Scudetto. 2026, the squad that is motivated with Juventus DNA. 2027, go as far as possible in all competitions and establish dominance. Now, you see to it that the plan of every club is put out in a phase of 3 years. Arsenal fans can come out and really be the people to obviously give evidence, who are going to evidence this, because most of them came out and said Arteta should be sacked. 3 years later, ever since they said he should be sacked, he's on top of the league. So this is the CEO of Juventus giving us a 3-year plan of Juventus, that they want to win the Champions League this season, right? And in 2026, they want to compete for the Scudetto, that is the Serie A. You know, they call it the Scudetto in Italian language. And in 2027, he wants to be having a squad that has a DNA of Juventus players. And that will be a plan for every team. Every team has a 3-year master plan, and that master plan is going to work out well. That's why when Louis van Gaal came in at Man United, he told the board, please, can you get me 3 years? Can you get me 3 years? Because if you get me 3 years, then I will get you the best that you deserve as a side of Man United. And unfortunately, after completing the second year, he was sacked in the third year. And by the way, the third year is always supposed to be what we call the fruition year, or the harvesting year. So you use this as the first 2 years to obviously cultivate, sow, weed, and then the third year will obviously get your harvests very, very well coming in through in there for you. So let's wait and see how that pans out. Even at Arsenal, you saw to it that in the all or nothing, that behind the scenes documentary that was released by Netflix, I think it was Prime Sport or Netflix, one of those, at Arsenal, we saw Edu explaining how the 3-year phase was planned at Arsenal. They said for the first season of Mikel Arteta, it was all about trying to go back to Europe, like playing the UEFA Europa League. Then the next season was to go ahead and really play in the Champions League, and the third season was for Arteta to win the Premier League, and that is the season of 2023-2024. That was the plan. Though the previous season they were really ahead of schedule, but it was like they had gone ahead to tick the boxes right. So that's a 3-year master plan. When you saw Sergio Ratcliffe, the new 25% minority stake owner for the club of Man United, again, he has talked about 3 years, that they need 3 years to obviously build a project that will compete with Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, and so on and so forth. That is it coming in through from Juventus. So I'm happy for them. I really wish them the best, that the project really works out and really get the best that they deserve as a side. Now, Aston Villa has come out and sealed the biggest shirt front sponsorship in the club's history with a Greek online sports betting company or platform known as Betano, paying £20 million annually for 2 years from next season. Now, it shows you how these clubs are really badly off. We look at teams like Arsenal having deals of like 80, 90 million pounds. Man United United now has a deal that has close to 100 million pounds in there for you. So I understand the level at which Aston Villa is really excited to get in Betano, and it shows you that they're really progressing and moving the right direction, because Unai Emery is still 4th in the Premier League table, and if at all he wins most of its games, he might find himself into that ilk of being on top of the Premier League table. So we wait and see how that pans out, but congratulations to Aston Villa for all that they've gone ahead to achieve. I call upon for your reactions into Harry Kane out of the Brazilian tie versus England. What do you make about Juventus's plan to really give themselves the best that they deserve in the next 3 years, and Aston Villa a record-breaking front shot deal? May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokani David is my name. The Muslims Juma Karim and Ramadan Karim. I sign out for now. See you later, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Me out for now. Bye-bye.